Hello there, everybody. Welcome to a new Rat Lab report. And despite being just the second Rat Lab report ever, it's going to be a bit of a special one because this is not only a Rat Lab report, this is a con recap. Yeah, because I went to Emerald City Comic Con over the weekend. Well, end of last week, most of the weekend, that kind of thing. I went Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I didn't go Sunday. It is now Monday as I'm recording this. I took Sunday to wind down and chill, that kind of thing, right? So, yeah, figured now would be as good a time as any to just sort of talk about what I did at the con, what I saw, maybe what I got, that kind of stuff. I didn't take as many pictures as I normally do or record any B-roll or anything like that. I was mostly just focused on doing stuff, right? Which, I probably should be focused on doing more so I can actually get some enjoyment out of it. I don't want to fall into the content hole, right? Now, as far as, reporting on the con itself, there was a good deal, actually. So the way it worked this time was that it was split three ways. The show floor was split three ways. It was, how to explain it? The Arch, so there's the Arch and the Summit. Those are the two Seattle Convention Centers. The Arch is like the original Seattle Convention Center, but then they built a second shiny new one, and that's the Summit. So now the way it worked was on one floor of the Arch was one show floor, as well as where celebrities were doing autographs and things like that. Sorry about that. God damn. They were doing autographs and pictures and things like that. The celebrity photo op stuff, right? And then in the Summit were two more show floors, as well as a bunch of panels and other activity rooms and stuff like that. The whole upper floor of the Summit, the fifth floor, was all fantasy D&D style gaming stuff, right? It was called the Tavern, and it was, it was styled after a medieval fantasy tavern or whatever. And yeah, it was actually very chill. Very chill. Nice place to just sit and rest for a bit. There was even a giant inflatable mushroom thing that you'd put in your yard for Halloween. And underneath the canopy of the mushroom were a bunch of beanbag chairs. It was very, very, very interesting. There was one dude advertising a booth by going around dressed as a satyr from Narnia. He was playing a hurdy-gurdy the whole time. Yeah, that was fun. But yeah, there's all that. And so you had the Arch, the Summit, level 0 of the Summit, and level 2 of the Summit, which also had Artist Alley in it. The Artist Alley stuff, that wasn't really my thing. The only thing I wanted out of it was Jason Aaron, the writer for Absolute Superman, but I couldn't. As far as I could tell, his schedule changed, and his booth, the only times I saw his booth, it was empty. So I couldn't get my Absolute Superman book signed by Jason Aaron, unfortunately. My dad was very happy, though. He was very, very happy. He got some stuff signed by Chris Claremont, which, if you're into comic books at all, you should know that name, and you should understand why my dad was very, very happy about that. There was this collector in front of him in line who had a fuck ton of stuff that he wanted to get signed and stuff. Clearly a big time collector. Apparently he had one comic, or no, not a comic, a poster that had a ton of different signatures on it. So he was trying to get as many Marvel signatures on that one poster as possible. But yeah, there was all that. So Artist Alley wasn't really my thing. Neither was the writer's block area, as it were, which is the writer equivalent of Artist Alley, right? Because my area was more pop culture sort of stuff. Yeah, I'd say pop culture sort of things and things like that. It's not not necessarily hyper focusing on individual authors or artists or anything like that, which, you know, is a little weird going to a comics convention, but there's plenty of just pop culture sort of things. And gaming things as well. Gaming has sort of wormed its way into these conventions as well. Because, you know, at this point, most Comic-Cons are just general geek conventions as well. Now, as for the celebrities that I did see, well, for one, I saw Michael Kovac. He was cool. I'm not going to show you the picture that I got with him because obviously that's going to reveal the flesh behind the VTuber, right? Don't want to do that. The most you're getting out of me is my hands. And, you know, he was cool, had a little chat with him. Turns out he's a local. He lives up in, like, Tacoma or something, like 30 minutes north of Seattle. Something like that. Just a little chat. People will recognize him in the grocery store and stuff like that. But yeah, just a normal... He's very stereotypical when it comes to, like, a Washingtonian, or a Seattleite in particular, right? Like, he's a chubby white guy with messy long hair, right? It's very stereotypical Seattleite kind of stuff. If you looked at him and you didn't know who he was, he would look very unremarkable. Which, you know, for some celebrities, that is a blessing. To look completely unremarkable, perfectly fine. I think many celebrities are perfectly fine with that. So that they can just go about the world on their own without being bothered all the time. So yeah, I saw him. Got a nice, I got a print of Rocky Rickaby from Lackadaisy that was signed by him, and he even did a little doodle of Rocky on it. So that was cool. I really like Lackadaisy out of all the things he's voiced in. I can't wait for Lackadaisy to actually start coming out as a full series, and the Rocky art was just really nice. And aside from that, I got to meet David Humphrey, the original voice of Shadow the Hedgehog. Turns out him, I'm forgetting the other guys, unfortunately. Him and the original voices of Knuckles and Silver had all set up their own little booth in the show floor, rather than be in the celebrity autograph area. So their experience was a lot more personable, right? You could chat with them for longer. They had a lot more options of what, you know, you might want to do with them or whatever, aside from just getting prints signed or something. I got a little voice recording that some of my friends very much enjoyed, because they are enjoyers of Shadow the Hedgehog as well as a good meme or two. I might play it right about now if I feel so inclined.
Hey, this is David Humphrey, the original voice of Shadow the Hedgehog, and I just wanted to remind you all, I love Latinas, Sonic. Oh, by the way, I'm the coolest.
But those were the two main, like, celebrities that I encountered. I didn't really do much celebrity stuff. It was mostly going around to booths and, you know, seeing that kind of thing. The very first thing I found on the bottom floor of the summit, level 0, was this area that was selling all kinds of tiny Pokemon plushies. And they were these small little things, right? Like they're the size of your hand, right? That's the size we're going for these plushies. And they're all arranged on this big wall, and they're arranged by color, right? Which visually, okay, sure, that makes sense. Doesn't make sense mechanic-wise or anything, because your color, the Pokemon color doesn't necessarily guarantee the type, right? So, like, you got a Ditto surrounded by ghost types and shit like that. But I saw a little Sableye in there. I saw a little plushy Sableye. And Sableye is my favorite Pokemon, for anyone who doesn't know. I really like ghost types, even though ghost doesn't necessarily match up with my personality and general interests. I just think ghost types look cool. I just think the ghost types really look cool. On my desk here, I have little plastic miniatures of Sableye, Gengar, and Dusclops, because I really like them, and it was like a deal I got at PAX a few years ago. Was it a few years, or was it? Yeah, it was like 2 years ago now. But yeah, I really like Sableye. I like the little gem goblin, right? And I was wearing my PAX 2023 not bomber jacket, but like 1980s exclusive members club kind of jacket with the epaulets on and stuff like that. And it's got that one collar with the button on it that you never button. It's just there for style, right? But it's got a little front pocket. And turns out the Sableye fit perfectly in the front pocket, so I was able to just shove him in the front pocket with his little head poking out. And I had a little pocket Sableye the entire time. He was a cute little guy. He got recognized a few times even. That was cute. That was cute. That was nice. I got a fancy new bag. I have been using a canvas courier bag since 2017. That I got at Emerald City Comic Con, no less. In 2017, I've been using this canvas courier bag, and it's gotten old. Obviously, it's gotten old. 2017, right? I've been making use out of it since a few years beyond the normal lifespan of a canvas bag, right? I've gotten more than my money's worth out of that thing. I've got a bunch of pins in it. It's got side pockets with buttons, but one of the buttons are completely gone, and the hole is just frayed at this point. Yeah, the thing is really seriously worn by now, right? So I really needed an upgrade, and I decided to upgrade to leather, courtesy of MistyMountain.com. I will totally show for them here. MistyMountain.com. The brand itself is called Modern Rugged. I'm turning my head to look at the bag, and that's why the sound might be a little different here. But yeah, it's a leather laptop bag, and it's got like a handle on the top of it. It's got clasps to keep it in place, which are still relatively easy to open and close, right? And it's just a really, really nice bag. Really nice bag. That thing's gonna last me like decades, guaranteed. And on top of all that, the way Modern Rugged works as a business is lifetime warranty, which, you know, lifetime warranty, all right, yeah, sure, that's cool. Except there's a catch. The lifetime warranty is on the bag. It's on the leather, not the person. This bag can get inherited as many times as like just any number of times, right? And so long as Modern Rugged is still in business, so long as these guys are still in business, this bag can go through as many people as possible. And if it breaks at any point, warranty is still good. Warranty is still good. You can still get it checked out for either repairs or replacement. It's crazy. I love it. It'd be crazy to think about, like, this bag getting inherited through multiple generations, and then at some point something goes wrong, and Misty Mountain or Modern Rugged is still around, and they are able to cash in on that warranty. You know, it is probably not going to be needed, but it's good to have. It's very good to have. Very reassuring. If they're willing to put a lifetime warranty on the bag itself, that also shows some pretty strong confidence in their bag, right? And it just looks and feels great. I'm excited to use it. But yeah, I got I got a new board game. I got Seven Wonders Dice. It's literally just the Seven Wonders board game, which, again, for any of you who know board games, you know what Seven Wonders is. It's a pretty big deal in the world of board games, and this is a little dice version of it. It's smaller. It's supposed to be a bit easier to approach for people who aren't used to strategy games. But personally, the reason I'm interested in it is just because I like dice. I just like dice. Like, card games are my big thing. Any kind of card game, whether it's trading card game or, non-TCGs, where, the cards are already there, like Gwent from The Witcher, or Sentinels of the Multiverse, or something like that. Right? Smash Up, Ascension, stuff like that. Just cards. I just like cards in general, even just playing cards, But if it weren't for card games, dice games are in a solid, very solid second place. I like dice. I like cards and I like dice. I like playing with them. I like the feel. There's a certain feel that comes from card and dice games, as well as a modularity, if that's the right term, that comes from them. They're very mobile. They're usually much more mobile than their board counterparts, right? You can usually bring these around more and, just have the things you need to play. You don't need that much to play a card game or a dice game, because usually the main things you're using to play are the cards or the dice, right? Board game, you need to unfold the board, get the pieces out, build all the pieces, then you put some cards in there, because usually a board game's gonna have like special cards or whatever. Then it's gonna have dice and all this stuff, and right, it's a whole other thing. And sure, card games and dice games can also get complicated like that depending on the game, but that's such as the nature of the board gaming sphere. But in general, they are more mobile and more modular. And more prone to expansions. So, yeah. And I think those are really the main things that I did. As far as, like, meeting people, getting stuff. There's some good food involved. The little restaurant that's inside the summit named Bombo has a really good margarita pizza. There was a brass band outside. It might have been the 8-Bit Band. I know the 8-Bit Band shows up to these cons a lot. It might have been them. They were playing a big band rendition of Escape from the City from Sonic Adventure. Which, again, you might see the video right about now. So yeah, that's most of what happened. There were a few other things. I went to a panel. I didn't go to that many activities. There weren't that many activities that interested me. I did go to one panel that was about getting into the comics industry, but then I had to leave to get into line for Michael Kovac before it got too friggin' long. And in general, just walking around the show floors and encountering people, seeing cosplays, some of which I took some pictures of, all that stuff. It was just fun to be there. Sometimes if you're not doing activities, it's just fun to be there, It's just cool. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that happened. I will be doing another one of these in April, because in April I will be attending SakuraCon, the anime convention that also happens in the Seattle Convention Center. So, oh boy, we're going to be doing another one of these relatively soon, people. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that next month. Aside from that, I don't really have anything else to update you with, because that was the big thing I was preparing for and then eventually doing from, late February to March. And that is the Lab Report. That is the update. Hope you all enjoyed this little discussion, and I will see you all later.